Yeah, YouTubers, Tasman here, bringing you another episode of Obsidian for TTRPGs. And I've been really kind of struggling going over fantasy stat blocks. It's actually really big, and I think it easily could be 2, 3, 4 videos in length by the time it's over, because there's just so much that it can do. But on top of that, there's some resources that I'd like to have us get, and maybe that's what we'll spend this episode doing, is getting these resources. Now, I will say that these resources are for Pathfinder 2e. However, the same site has some D&D 5e resources as well, and various other RPG assets that you can use that are, your different MD files. But I was really trying to figure out the best way to go about teaching fantasy stat blocks, and I think getting these resources might actually help do that very thing. So I've already downloaded everything, and there's a boatload. Pathfinder 2e, basically everything is out there on the internet. There is no real SRD, so it's just available. You can go to the Archives of Nethys and actually get everything, even to their latest core books. The Rage of the Elements, I think, was the name of that one, which just came out, what was it, a month or two ago? And all the content from within it is actually published. The only thing they really don't allow Archives of Nethys to have is actual adventures. Those they think this is where the money is, people buying the adventures themselves. But all the other stuff is free, and I've mentioned that before. But like I said, this same site that we're going to go to does have some 5e stuff, but it's just the SRD, what they're allowed to actually put out there. Or I guess now it's considered Creative Commons. I don't know what it's called now. Although I guess it wasn't ever called from the Open Game License. So it's probably still the SRD. Anyway, so we're going to hold off doing fantasy stat blocks, and the initiative tracker goes quite well with fantasy stat blocks. Obsidian leaflet, that could actually be a fairly easy one to do, and then templator is also one that has quite a bit of depth. So let's go ahead and begin. I don't want to take way too much time. We've already taken 3 minutes just bumbling on trying to say what we're gonna do. But anyway, so as I said, I've already downloaded the stuff for the Pathfinder 2e, and I'm going to give you guys the location. Now you can see as I mouse over it, it says 2,574 files in 83 folders. I don't know how up to date this is. I just barely updated it today. I think the data on it's at least 2 months old, because I think that was kind of the in the GitHub, that's what I was seeing, is the last update was around 2 months ago. But they are kind of updating it as they go. So anyway, what we're going to be downloading, and I created this little handy stuff file that has the links that we need. And as you can see here, if I go into it, you can see we have the main repo, and it's just a GitHub site. And the site is the Obsidian TTRPG community. So, if you look that up or whatever, you can access all this stuff. But with this link right here, and maybe I'll put it in my Discord. I'll have to create an Obsidian for TTRPGs channel on there. Maybe I could put this there. Maybe the list of our plugins and stuff like that. But anyway, so as you can see, there is there's the bestiary compendiums and rules. I'm gonna switch back to this so we don't see the things, but all of these are based off of the main repo. The SRD Markdown contains like the bestiary compendiums and the rules. This GH is to remind me that I use this downloader link, which I will also explain. Then this one, which is a subsection of the main repo, has like your action icons, GM screen stuff, and various other things. This one right here has callout templates, which is kind of what we already created with our Markdown cheat sheet. These are basically our callout templates right here, and it's pretty much exactly what we have here. I think I have the read aloud here, but they've actually added the read aloud to the actual one, but I kind of like mine, so I just left mine there. But there's that. And then this one is the layouts, and this is the big one that really goes towards fantasy stat blocks. It has basically the JSON files that you can import into fantasy stat blocks, so it knows this is what a hazard stat block looks like. This is what a general, a miscellaneous one looks like, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of why I wanted to get this, and I figured since we're getting the one thing, we might as well get the rest of it as well, just because we can use it throughout the rest of this video, I guess, or videos, this series. That's the word I was looking for. So anyway, I do have the PF2E in here because if I were to add this anywhere else, we would make our little graph view. Right now it's nice and small, but it would have, that 12,000 little dots and everything to make it really confusing. So that's why we actually excluded ZZ admin from showing up in tags or showing up here, as to kind of make that a little cleaner. So let's go ahead and look at these things. So I'm going to go ahead and click this link right here for the main repo, and I'm going to have to pull my window over. So you'll see here, and let me just maybe change its size real quick. There we go. So as you can see here, this is the main site. And as I was saying, if we go look, which one is it? This one. All these different things are there. The SRD Markdown, the TTRPG share. I don't have the other one in here. I took it out on purpose. It's one I don't even use. The generic system and stuff. They're all in here, and we can actually see them. There's the TTRPG share. There's the path of the SRD Markdown. Down here a little further, I think it was what was it? I think this is one of them, and so on and so forth. But I created those links just so we could actually see the drill down to where we need. Now the second thing we want is that link that I said is the downloader. What this does is it takes you to download-directory.github.com, and what this allows you to do is you go inside the directory and then you just paste it in here, and it will actually download everything. Now I'm going to move this here. I'm going to go grab one that's small because the main one, this main one is ginormous. It takes forever for it to download. These other ones are not too bad at all. So like if we did this TTRPG one, which is once again part of it because it's the TTRPG share. Is that the right one? Yeah. You'll see that we have these various things, and really all we really use from this, it might only be the action icons. This is kind of handy, the GM screen. It does look like it needs some updating. Actually, it looks like it was updated last month. But what we do is I'm going to copy the URL from the address bar. I'm going to go into here, and if I hit Control V, I'm just pasting that whole URL link in here, and then I just hit enter, and you'll see that it's retrieving everything. So it's grabbing everything from there. This one's a little big, it's not too big. So as you can see, it's going through every one of the files and kind of just getting the, I should have scrolled down, honey. There we go. So it's got 1,351 files. And basically all I did with mine, I think, was just delete that part and just save it as Pathfinder 2E. And I will show you that as well. So you just do that for each of these links. And I tried in the where'd it go? I have too many little windows on my thing. So I tried to tell you what you're actually getting in each of them. So in the TTRPG community, is that the one I just did? Yeah, the TTRPG community. The big thing we want there is mostly the layouts, which is, oops. Actually, that's not the community one. Hold on. Let's just click that real quick. So if we go into those, that's the fantasy stuff. And what we really care about there is these layouts. And these are the JSON files for Pathfinder 2E. This helps fantasy stat blocks know what it's supposed to do. In fact, you can see this is 4 fantasy stat blocks. Now, once again, as I said, this is, you know, the Pathfinder 2E portion of it. But, and I think that's the main thing that Jeremy Valentine, who's the author of it, actually does. I don't see any for like Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that. So mostly he has more, I'm assuming he's the one that did this. Actually, I don't know. If we go in here, does it say who the author is? I don't know. I'm not the guru when it comes to GitHub. But anyway, like for example, that's what we would want. Now when I downloaded, I actually just went to this outer folder and downloaded everything just so I could look at the different things. But really all I want out of that one is this one. Out of the TTRPG share, if we go look at that one real quick, that's this one. That's the GM screen action icons. Those are pretty much the big things there. So if we go look at that one, I'm going to close this. You'll see we have the action icons, which we use, the GM screen, which is handy. Initiative tracker, I really don't think I've done much with that. But anyway, you can grab that stuff just to grab it. And just use this. When you're ready for a second one, you just paste in a new URL, hit enter, and it will go ahead and clear it and re-download everything. I will say that after you copy these files and put them in, like if we go into here, what was it? Let's just go to our actors here, for example, and say show in System Explorer. Here it is right here. So when you copy or unzip those files, as you can see, I actually save them under PF2 under ZZ zips. So it would go to the bottom, and these are what I end up with: a bestiary1, callouts, the compendiums, fantasy stat blocks, Pathfinder 2E, and rules. And then I just extract all of those, and I end up with the core, and inside core here I have the bestiary, compendiums, rules. Here's the GM screen that we just looked at. Here's the layouts. And then, of course, we have the zip file. So I just kind of keep everything in there. I do move a couple things out. For example, the PF2E action icons, I actually move out in under templates. And we'll show you why we do that in a little bit. So I know this is a lot to take in. And this is part of the reason that I was really kind of trying to think of the best way to do this and get this information. Now, I will say, once you have got all these things in here, like the core, the GM screen, the layouts, and all this fun stuff, not all the links will necessarily work. For example, if I go in here, that one's not going to work. And you can go in each file, or if you have a bulk tool, I think Notepad++, you can actually do a search and replace on an entire folder of files. All you'd have to do is go in there and change basically, I think pretty much from there, you would just basically change here. So we go out, we're on GM screen, so it would go out 1, and it goes to rules. Actually, no, you change this to, I don't even think you have to go out. You go out 1, then you go to core, and then that's where rules is. So then you just type rules in there and it'll do it. Lots of them will automatically reassociate. But there are various ones that don't. Like if from what I've seen, like the bestiary works pretty good. If we come in here and go into bestiary 1, do something like black dragon, go ahead here. Well, we kind of have it, the stat block stuff. Let's see, is there one in here that doesn't, that also has the regular stuff? I don't think there is, so this isn't going to be a very good example yet. But we'll go over that as well. Anyway, as you can see, we have the bestiaries, the GM guide, troubles in Atari. If we go under like the compendiums, we have the character compendium, which is archetypes, backgrounds. Maybe these will work. Yeah, so see if I mouse over Acrobat, it's actually linking properly. Backgrounds, if I do that, you know, on Acrobat, Alloy Smith, and it tells you where it comes from. Rage of Elements, that new book I just told you about, so it's actually pretty updated. So on and so forth. We got our equipment, items. This is 2,000 files in here. I don't know if all this stuff is all linked up. Yeah, pretty good. So anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to get off right there. So once you do get those all established, Obsidian doesn't totally know about it. So Obsidian is then either if you do a restart of it, or you know, you reload it, or if you actually didn't have Obsidian up when you were doing that and you launch it, you're going to get a little black box up here that, I'm going to be honest, does not count very fast. And it has to go from 0 to like 12,500. You can do things while it's doing it. I just usually leave it in the background so that, you know, it's sure that it's not going to screw anything up. And I would probably recommend that. I mean, if you're adding your own things, you're probably fine. But if you're accessing anything in the PF2E where you've put it, you might end up making it so that it misses a file here or there. But ultimately, it can take a little while. So, you know, go get a drink, eat a snack, watch some Netflix or something, because it can take a little while. But once it's done, it's actually pretty handy. And let's see, trying to think what else I wanted to say about this. So actually, I do remember one thing. So we're going to actually go get those two plugins that we were talking about. We haven't gone over them. We're not going to have a chance to go over them. But the first one, as I said, was the Fantasy Statblocks. So we'll go in here and see it's by our friend Jeremy Valentine. And it shows you that, like, this is a Path... Is this Pathfinder? No, this is D&D. Pathfinders are more of a white one. And it shows you what it will look like when it's done. And because we have the dice roller, we'll actually be able to see these little dice, and we'll be able to click it, and it will show us this result here and stuff like that. And I would highly recommend looking at this. It kind of gives you a sample of what a stat block, if you want to customize it, or if it's one that's already in there, then you could just type stat block monster and the monster's name, and just go with that. I don't think I needed anything else. Just let me just double check. It's a really good thing to read, though. I will say that. It does have examples for other types of systems. There's 13th Age, columns, the bestiary, customizing CSS. A lot of really good information that I would recommend just taking a peek at. We're going to be going over some of that. So we're going to go ahead and install this, and then I'm going to show you what the what it looks like in our bestiary. Remember how we were pulling up the bestiary and it was like, oh, well, it's not pulling up completely. So the second thing we're going to do is ENCOUNTER. So we're going to get, oh no, it's initiative. INIT, initiative tracker, also by Jeremy Valentine. This one is a much more simplistic one. I could actually do in like 5 or so minutes. So as you can see, it's very short. So we'll go ahead and install that as well. And I will show you both these things, and then over the next set of videos or weeks or whatever, we'll kind of go over all those things. We're not going to go play with any of the settings or anything because we're pretty much out of time. But I just wanted to at least give you some eye candy here. So if we come in here now to the PF2E and go back where we were, for example, in the bestiary, and let's do bestiary 2 and just kind of come down here a ways. Let's see if we can find anything of interest real quick. Giant dragonfly, giant, lots of giant stuff. How about a goblin? Goblins are pretty. Gorgon. Actually, goblins might not be in this one. They might be in the previous. Let's do Hellcat. So as you can see, what it does is it gives you this nice layout, and this is how Pathfinder 2E does it. And you can see if you mouse over, it pretty much, from what I've seen, it usually does pretty good at reestablishing these links. These are what would end up not be working properly if it doesn't get a chance to actually import, you know, do that 12,000 files. You wouldn't be able to mouse over these things and actually have it work necessarily properly. And then you can see, because we have the dice roller installed, it's kind of weird. I think they need to fix this one. It has ++. They added a plus manually, and it's automatically doing that. But for example, let's say for its HP, actually this one's not that. Let's say we're doing an attack or whatever, you know. So here we have, is this our, they don't actually have the die for an attack, but here's the damage. So it's 2d12 plus 20, and you just click that bad boy, and if you mouse over it, it will tell you what you rolled. They don't have this one set up extremely well. That one did. Wait, did this work? Oh, this did work actually. Yeah, so 15. That's, I'm not sure why it has all the pluses. But so 2d8. This is a really bad example apparently. Just because it's really weird how they actually have it. This +2. So this is actually just 1d4, 1d damage. Well, there's a, it says 1d4 there, but man, we found, I wonder if there's more. Let's try an ice worm. Ice worm? Yeah, they have the same thing. I don't remember seeing it like this. Let's see if they have mitflits or something. If not, I think mine actually will work now. So if we go up, because I think I did a custom one when I made my mitflit, because I didn't know about this site. So I think if I go under actors, mitflit here, nope, that's not the one I was thinking of. Do I have, I remember making another one somewhere. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm lying. We have the image. We were playing with it actually. I know we have it somewhere. Attachments, no. Dataview, PF2E, plugins, it wouldn't have been under there. I could have swore we had one where it actually pulled up the image and stuff, because this is using D&D 5e's. No, this is Pathfinder, I believe. Actually, I have no clue. Well, since none of that's actually working right, it is working right here. It's just the people that actually did it. Looks like they didn't quite update it quite right. Let's see if there's a goblin in here. Just something really simple. There's a ghast, a gargoyle. So we mouse over that. 1d20. So this is a reflex save. But let's just show you really quick. So this is what the stat block for that looks like. Oh, actually, I know why my mitflit isn't showing. So this is what the stat block looks like, and the way they've got it is they have this. plus 10. I gotta remember this now. So 1D. So that reflex saving throw was this guy right here. But what they would want to do is say, I think they just want to say 1D 20. Whoops, 20. Let's see if that works at all. So we go to reflex. Now we can see the 1D 20. It's not showing the plus 10. We were playing with that, but at least now you can see the 1D20. Anyway, there will be some things you might have to fix. The other thing I wanted to show really quick is this is the part that actually works with the initiative tracker. And what you can do is, let's say you want to fight one gargoyle, then you go ahead and just click the add to encounter, or you can actually begin the encounter. So if it's just one gargoyle, you click begin encounter and you'll see it actually gives us our encounter. And if we have our players in here, it'll actually give you an idea of if it's easy or deadly. If we wanted more than one, we could add another one. And you'll see it kind of says this is gargoyle 1, this is gargoyle 8, actually 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure what that first one is. Oh, that's the reroll, the initiatives. These are their initiatives. I think I need to stretch this out. That's why I was not reading it right. So there you go. So this is their initiatives right here. This is their name. This is their health. And you can see that, you know, you can come in here and if they take damage, you say minus 23 or something, hit enter, and is that not the one I was thinking of? Say minus 23. I thought that was it. I'm going to look at this. Like I said, I haven't really played with this. I've used this mostly for taking notes as a player, but I'm looking to actually use it also a bit more as a GM, which is why I have my Abomination Vaults one that I do. But I will look into this more, so when we get to the initiative tracker that we can actually see the stuff working better. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't remember where the delete is either. That's copy initiative order. Reset, sort ascending. Yeah, I'll do it later. Sorry. Anyway, so that just gives you a little taste of what we have in the future and how to get a lot of assets for Pathfinder 2e. I don't remember, did I already close it? The other thing I was going to show you, I did close the other one, and I just remembered I did say there was D&D 5e assets out here. We're going to end on this. I'm going to come back in here, go up, and go to handy stuff. So if I go back to the main repo, what I wanted to show you is the D&D 5e. So there's the Dungeons & Dragons Essentials, which actually will mostly point you over to the D&D 5e one or the 3.5 SRD. There's really nothing else in here. And then right here, D&D 5e Markdown is the one that was pointing to. So if we come in here, we can actually see that it does have some of the stuff. We have Compendium in here, and in here we have the Bestiary, but it's only going to be the SRD Bestiary. It's not going to be the full thing, so it's going to be very limited on what it actually has. If we go into, say, I think Humanoid, there's a fair amount, but it's definitely not as much as there is. Looks like they also have tokens in here, so PNG files for the tokens, and so on and so forth. So you can get some of the stuff just because, you know, D&D doesn't give everything out to the community. You won't see it all. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Sorry for not really understanding in depth at the moment the initiative tracker. I definitely am going to look more into that. I wasn't even planning on really showcasing much of it in this episode. But hopefully you enjoyed, learned something new. If you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments down below. Also, if you put them on my Discord, even if I don't have that channel for Obsidian for TTRPGs are already there, just leave it in general or something, and just say, hey, I'm not sure if I follow how to do this or whatever, and I'll do my best to help you out. But anyway, yeah, so I've rambled on enough. We're at 30 minutes. I've rambled on for 5 minutes. Sorry. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Click that little notification bell. Follow me on Twitter. Check out my Discord and my other channels. Don't forget to tell other people about my channel. Check it out. If they like what they see, they can sub. Simple as that. And that is it, my friends. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.